How's it going, everybody? I'm Tanya and this is Growing Groceries, and today I'm really excited because I'm going to be building a chicken deck to go on the front of their coop. If you saw my chicken coop building video, right now I'm using a dog crate for the little landing area because it's so high off the ground, and that's just because of the slope of my yard and where I wanted the run to be going off from the coop. So it was kind of an unavoidable situation, but I knew I wouldn't leave this dog crate here long. It was just temporary. So I'm going to be building a little deck for them, and then eventually I'm going to put a little picnic table on it, and it's just going to be another spot that provides a little shade for them in the summer when it's really hot, and a nice little area for them to get in and out of their coop easily. So this ramp starts at like 36.5 inches high. So I'm probably going to build the deck right off of the trim area. So it's just like a little step down from the door. And that is 35 inches high. So it's not too bad. I already happen to have something that's kind of the perfect size. It's 4 foot by 3.5 foot. And it's a little platform that it actually used to be a door at the barn at my neighbor's house, and they were getting rid of it. They were going to burn it. So I asked, if they were going to burn it anyway, if they'd mind if I had it, because they had a project in mind for it. And they said, no problem. So I have that, which is a great starting point. It's not built like a platform normally would be. It's built like a door would be, but it will be very easy to turn it into a nice deck. And then I really just got to figure out the legs for it, because the ground is so sloped. I have to make sure that I have it level. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm about to go get the platform and get it started. You guys excited to have a new little chicken deck? Little patio? All right, so here we have it. See, it's 3.5 feet across and 1/2 inch shy of 4 feet long. Well, that chicken coop is 4 feet wide, so I'll just put it to where this lines up with the edge of the coop, and it'll basically run that whole side, and it'll come out 3.5 feet from the coop. It's perfect size. Now this stuff is 1 inch thick, and then these are 2x6s underneath. So if you look down here, you'll see it is basically a frame. All of the edges are just cut at angles, and then it's got this thick board on top. Now, like I said, this isn't exactly how I would have made it if I was making this from scratch, but use what you got. So the biggest thing is I want to make sure I clean this off really good. I sand it down, and then I'm going to seal it and make sure it's as waterproof as I can make it, because it's going to be sitting like this, and all that rain is going to land right on it. So I'm going to seal it, and then I got to put some legs on it and then some supports, because that's really heavy. It's going to be way stronger than a little chicken needs, but it's free, so always use free if you got it. Okay, it's all cleaned up and sanded down. If I didn't have this, how I would have gone about building the same thing, I probably would have made it the same size, just for demonstration purposes here. I would have took a 2x4, and I would have put them on the edge on all 4 sides. I wouldn't have done the angles on the corners. I would have just lined it up to where one comes all the way out, the next one starts here, and then on this side, same thing. Or you could even do the opposite and have this one come all the way down and this one stop short. But I would have made a frame, and then I would have ran one more 2x4 straight down the center. With that, I would have taken pellets I've pulled all the boards off, taken all the nails out, sanded them down, and then I would have ran the pellets along the top like this. I would have made it a really, really small crack, just enough to where there's space for it to expand and to shrink with the weather. But chickens have very small toes, so you don't want to leave a big gap where they could get a toe stuck in it and then get hurt. So run it all the way down like that, and you'd have a really nice chicken deck. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then once I had that, I would just seal it and stain it the same way I'm about to do with this one. But just in case your neighbor isn't getting rid of something like this for you to start with, that's a really easy way for you to do the same thing. And pellets are free. You can get them at a lot of places for free. Okay, this is the same stain I used on all of the trim. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this for the decking. I was gonna use this because it has polyurethane in it, but the can is so old, I can't even get the lid off. It's, I guess that, there wasn't much left anyway, but I guess that one's done. So I'll use this, and then I'm gonna probably put some sort of clear coat over the top, just to seal it a little better. I don't know, I'll figure that out when I get to it. Okay, so if you look at it, you'll see there's scratches all over it. They're all going this direction, so I can only assume it was a little half door and it was facing like this, and maybe they had an animal that was trying to get into that barn stall. But I like it. I think it makes it look unique. It's weathered, it's used, you know. I think it gives it character. So I ran out of that other one. Like I said, it was difficult to even get enough to cover this. I'm going to go ahead and do this stain I found in my basement. I'm going to do it on all of the edges, and then I'll be ready to start figuring out the legs. Okay, so as you can see, I sanded it down again. I would have sanded it more, but my belt sander, the battery died, so it's charging, and then I'm going to do another coat. When it dried, it was just so dark that I don't know how it ended up looking so different from how it did on the trim there, but for whatever reason, much darker on this. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it got mixed up with a different stain. Either way, it was too dark and it would have burned their little feet, and we can't have that. So I'm going to sand it all the way down, and then I'm going to try again. And if I can't find a stain that I like on it that's nice and light, preferably looking like that one over there, but if I can't find that, then I'll end up painting this green to match that coop. But I'm going to do a rail around it. Number one, to give them more spots where they can roost and hang out, but also just to make it look nice. It's going to have a rail along it. It's going to have a ramp going to the door. I think I'm going to actually put this a little bit lower than the opening on the coop. So there will be a little ramp coming to it and then another ramp coming off of it. Though I suspect they'll just come down onto it, and then when they want to get down, they'll just fly down. So one step closer, but yeah, it's just too hot. It has been sitting in the sun. This is actually the next day. I had to go to work last night, so I put it on hold, and I had a feeling, I already knew it was going to come to this, but I was hoping that by some miracle it would dry much lighter than it was looking, and it did not. So we'll try again. We'll get there though. Okay, while I'm waiting for my battery on my sander to recharge, I'm going to start working on the legs. First thing I'm going to do is go out there. I'm going to flatten, dig some little spots for blocks for the footers, try and get them level, or at least be able to measure what the difference is so I can adjust on the 4x4s I'm going to cut for that. So all right, so I'm committed now because the dog crate that this was on we had a roll-off dumpster here and I was getting picked up today. I went ahead and threw it in there because it was very broken and missing a door. So it was really only serving this one purpose. But now I need to get this done. So I've started working on the blocks for the footers. I'm making sure they're level with each other. I know those back ones are gonna have to come down a little. These front ones are gonna be a little low, so I'm gonna have to build those up a little, probably a second set of bricks maybe, but that's what I'm working on now. I'm still waiting on my sander to finish charging, and then I'll do another coat of that. Okay, so I have it all leveled for the 4 posts, and now I just have to go make the base, and then hopefully by then my battery is ready to use again and I can finish sanding. The legs are on. Now I'm going to be attaching some braces. I'm going to do them across the shorter sides because the long side one is going to back up to the coop, and underneath the coop is fencing, so that side's blocked off anyway. Though I'll still put a brace there. Right now I'm just doing the sides. The front though, I want that to be open so that the chickens can come in and out without any issue. I want them to be able to hide underneath this, to get some shade, and to dust bathe and all that good stuff. I would have liked to do these at an angle just because I think it looks really nice, kind of that more country look. However, I'm very big on use what you've got, and what I've got will only fit doing it straight across. So I will do it on the inside, and I'm probably going to do about halfway up. There's a potential that a chicken could hop up here and use it as a roosting bar, which, you know, all the better. I might even do it a little lower just to make that easier for them. But it's also just because I think that would give it probably the most support. So I'm going to attach those, and then I got to find one for the longer sides. Boom. All right. Now I got to find a longer board I can use for the back and the front. Okay, so I flipped it back over, and now I'm going to attach the board in the back, and I'm just using the boards I have on the side as a guide for this to set on. All of these, when it was upside down, I marked 5 inches up from the bottom, and that's where I put these boards. So they're the same on all 4 sides, 5 inches up, and then on top of them will be the back brace. The front brace, I'm probably gonna do kind of high, something like that, just to make them feel a little bit more secure under here, like they're in like a little safe cave or something, and it'll just give them a spot to hide, but also it'll still be a brace, which is really what I want. I want to make sure I still have a brace. So that'll be the front, side, back, other side. So all these are just toenailed in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and attach them with 2 of my 3-inch screws on each post. And then for these are all 1x4s. Those are 1x6s, and that's just because this is the wood I had. I'm literally just making this out of stuff I already had. I'm not buying anything for this, and that's how I prefer to do all of my projects if I can. So I think it's gonna look good though. Still gonna stain all the legs. I got all the legs sanded down, and then I hit them all with Danish oil. It will seal them, it will protect them. It also just looks really nice. The top I sanded down, and then I hit with a lighter colored Danish oil. This one's dark walnut. A ladybug, hold on one second. The top one I think I did with maple. It was a real light colored one because I wanted to keep it as light as possible. Even with sanding it multiple times, this is as much of the stain as I could get off. But I think it actually isn't going to be very hot for the chickens at this point. And it looks cool. It's unique looking. It's like the stain went with the grain darker in some areas, and I don't know, I think it's unique. It's gonna get pooped on anyway, right? So I'm gonna keep it like that. I think these are good. I'm probably going to put a little top piece on here that's wider, because their feet, they don't like roosting on something so narrow, because this is only 3/4 inch across. They really prefer like 3 inches across or so. So I'll probably put something on the top of that one and the one over on that side. And then I've got a really cool plan for the top. So hang tight, because this is going to be really unique when it's done. Okay, this is the one I put on the top, just natural. And that was just to make sure it's sealed and protected, since I did sand off a good amount of that stain, but I didn't want it to get any darker. All right, it is done. And there's one part I haven't told you about that I feel like really pulls it all together. So check this out. Ta-da! The coop will be off the back. There's going to be a little step going into the door. You've got roosting bars that double as the railing, because what deck would be complete without a safety railing? And then the opening for the chickens to exit their deck and go into the run. Next, I'm probably going to build a little special seating up there for the chickens, and then it will be 100% complete. But for this video, I'm gonna end it here, and there will be a part 2 where I am actually installing it on the coop and doing a step off the back, and then probably a third video where I build some seating for the chickens that'll go on their new deck. But there it is. This is the front, so they can go under here and hang out. They've got some bars they could choose to roost on. They don't have, I didn't put anything on top of them like I was thinking I would, because I ended up using that up here. So the thing with this is, I didn't buy a single thing for this. I built this entire thing out of wood that I had sitting around, and wood that I was given by people who were pitching it or gonna burn it. It's all made out of scraps. I prefer to do all of my projects that way, where I don't have to buy anything. It's not always the case, but I do it as much as I can. And I feel like it turned out pretty awesome. And I'm really happy with it. I'm even happy with how this turned out. I think it's unique. This is, these are 1x2s. And then these are 1x2s, the railings here. These are, they're like 4x4s, except they're rounded on the sides. I forget what they're called. I bought them so long ago, and I just had a little bit of it left. It was scrap wood, like I said. I was just in my garage, and I thought it would work well for these. And I did sand everything really, really good. All of the edges, because I don't want any chickens hurting themselves, getting a splinter, or cutting a toe, and then ending up with bumblefoot because of it. So I made sure I sanded everything, and then I used that Danish oil on all of this. So it's all sealed, and it looks really nice. So I'm very happy with it. Now the tricky part is going to be getting it into the run, which I really, to be honest with you, did not think about until about 5 minutes ago. But I measured, and the opening of the run comes to about here, which means we're going to have to do some, like, you know, legs in first, turn it, through, legs out kind of situation. I'm not messing with it until my husband gets home. He's just pulling in now. It's really heavy, so it's going to be a 2-person job, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Can't wait to get it in there. And then if you want to see it attached to the coop and the final touches done, the little step off the back, then hit the subscribe button so you can catch video 2, which should be coming out in just a day or 2, because I plan on finishing this probably day after tomorrow, because tomorrow I work. Day after, though, this is my plan. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, if this was helpful at all, please hit the thumbs up. It helps me out a lot and I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to catch video 2 and see this installed, then hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time. God bless.